Welcome to Hello English Teacher. Today let's look at some important points from the chapter Long Walk to Freedom from Class 10 English. So, this chapter is an extract from Nelson Mandela's autobiography, which is called Long Walk to Freedom, and it describes his journey of becoming the first black president of South Africa, highlights the freedom struggle, and also the end of the apartheid policy. 10th May 1994 is a very important day in the history of South Africa because it was the inauguration day of the democratic government. So, Mandela's inauguration as the first black president of South Africa took place on this day. So, the event was organized in the Union Buildings Amphitheatre in Pretoria, which is the capital of South Africa. Now, this function was attended by many world leaders and dignitaries. After the inauguration of the democratic government and becoming the first black president of South Africa, Mandela addressed the gathering. And in his speech, he emphasizes the value of freedom and democracy. He also acknowledges the role of African patriots in the fight against apartheid. He also expresses his gratitude towards people who sacrificed their lives for the freedom. He also highlights the significance of reconciliation and nation building. He pays homage to all those known and unknown leaders who laid down their lives for the sake of the freedom of the country. What is apartheid and racial oppression? Apartheid was a system of racial segregation or discrimination which was enforced by the National Party government formed by the whites in South Africa. Now, the black South Africans were denied basic human rights and freedom. They were not free to do anything they wanted. So, Mandela describes his personal experiences of racial discrimination and the collective suffering of the black South Africans. So, when he understood that he was not free to do what he wanted, he joined the African National Congress to fight against apartheid. So, the African National Congress led various campaigns and protests against the racial segregation. Mandela was imprisoned for 27 years due to his anti apartheid activities. In his autobiography, he also talks about how he suffered in the prison, the harsh conditions that he had undergone, and through these conditions also he remained determined to fight for freedom. And the prison strengthened his resolve and commitment to the cause because some kindness by some guard usually kept his hopes high, and because of that, he was able to fight back the apartheid policy and bring back freedom to the country. He was released from prison on 11th February 1990, and then he engaged in a lot of negotiations with the government to dismantle or to stop apartheid. And he also worked towards the establishment of a non-racial democratic government in South Africa where everyone could enjoy their freedom. So, the negotiations brought about the first democratic election in April 1994, and in this election, he was elected as the first black president of South Africa. This symbolized the victory of justice and equality over oppression. In his speech to the nation, he also talks about the meaning of freedom and the long struggle they had undergone to achieve it. He emphasizes that freedom is not the absence of oppression, but the presence of opportunity and dignity for all. He also advocates for continuous efforts towards maintaining and strengthening freedom and democracy and removing poverty and giving more importance to education and equality to all. This abstract instills a lot of values in us. It encourages the understanding of historical events and the significance of the anti apartheid movement. It inspires students to value and uphold principles of justice, equality, and human rights. It also provides an insight into the life and legacy of Nelson Mandela as a leader and a freedom fighter. Apart from these, he also talks about his boyhood life, how he understood the value of freedom, and he talks about how important his people are and how he valued them more than any valuable gems or other stones, precious stones. He also talks about the twin obligation of the people, and he also talks about how the oppressed and the oppressor must be liberated from hatred so that people can lead a normal and happy life. I hope you liked today's video. For more interesting and informative videos, do subscribe to Hello English Teacher. Thank you for watching.